Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm BogMod. You can level up in the middle of a fight. Excellent. Actually, regeneration. $45. Right, concussion blow? Nope, doesn't work. Alright, well, good to know. So, one of the interesting things I was thinking about, like, there's an interesting kind of dichotomy to me. Well, no, maybe dichotomy is too fancy a word for what I'm trying to say. But, I like magic. And quite often a lot of settings, I think part of the main kind of idea behind the difference between magic and technology is kind of a responsibility angle, right? Yay, victory! So, like, hello? And the very breathy minotaurs, it looks like. Very, very punchy minotaurs. So when I say that it's about it's responsibility. It's because, like in most of these, in your classic fantasy setting, if you want to be a wizard, right, you have to go and you have to study and you have to spend years into it, practicing and learning, mastering the arcane arts, right? You don't just wave your hands one day and decide, you know what? I'm gonna throw fire on someone. It doesn't work like that. Conversely, right? Now, this is a gross oversimplification of how it works. Technology kind of works on the other principle. The principle that anybody, can get their hands on it and use it. Right? Yes, you need to be good with the sword, takes practice and work, right? To be an expert marksman, takes work. But, right? Compared to, or a better historical example, maybe, touching into the real world, the crossbow compared to the longbow, right? The ancient, back in what would this have been? 1300s, maybe? Maybe I got the era wrong. But like the English longbow, like English longbowmen were feared for their prowess, right? Their deadliness. But the thing about, a longbowman, right? I believe if I recall once, there was once a saying that basically, if you want a good English longbowman, right, you start with the grandfather. The idea, it's kind of like it's, because it takes that long, well, not that long, but to build the culture and the mindset and all that sort of stuff behind it. A strong English longbow takes time. Oh, my stash is full. A belt. I didn't know how to. Oh, well, let's talk to the barbarian. Barbarian's waiting. He's going to deliver his almighty weapon. Ouch, that hurts. Journey Village's blacksmith told us to deliver this almighty weapon to you. I believe it'll help you leave this place. His eyes glow and turn red. Something's happening, and whatever it is, it'll be helpful. Oh. Brawr! It's as if the pen and paper war god is possessing me! Well, time to start counting heads. Kill all goblins. One more. Alright. Yeah, those are the goblins. I'll take 4 on. Right, so, whereas comparatively, to train someone to use a crossbow effectively, like not a master marksman, but, good enough to, come on, let's go into battle, took a whole lot less time and a whole lot less resources. Bam. which is kind of how it's kind of why things changed, right? Yeah, sure. A jet. You can't just use a jet, right? No one can just like step in. They're incredibly complex. But part of the idea of improving, improvements in technology is to make them easy to use, hard to master, right? So comparatively, like, yeah, there's no... Yeah, well, this is kind of where you get it. Sometimes magic really is just a replacement for science. And you get, you'll have your people with, You'll have your wizards, and they'll just, like, anybody can just go down to the magic shop and buy themselves a wand that throws fireballs. In which case, well, that's the quote from Arthur C. Clarke, now that I think about it, the idea that, well, his quote is that any sufficiently advanced science was indistinguishable from magic. Right? Which, if you look at a lot of sci-fi stuff, it certainly is. Hell, you look at what... you look at a lot of our modern technology, and by and large, a lot of people have, how does the phone work? Like, oh yeah, sure, I get a crystal and I run electricity through it, and it oscillates, so this vibrating crystal sends a thing down a chunk of metal, and it, to actually describe the whole proper workings of how the power lines work, and you transmit the voice into a signal, and then transmit it back into a voice, and the receivers, and all that sort of stuff. It sounds pretty damn complex. And not for one day, just one. Yeah, there we are. So it's 3. Oops. So yeah, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and I certainly feel like my my phone is magic some days. When you think about, what we can do with our phones now. Oops. How with your phone you have access to like 99% of the knowledge humanity has ever possessed through the internet, right? Which is great. And how does that work? Oh yeah, well, you've got these objects floating beyond sight that fire invisible rays through the earth that this little rectangle in your pocket can pick up on. It sounds kind of magical. And then, of course, you get into even more stuff where it's like Star Trek, yeah. So, where there's an episode of Star Trek in which one of the they meet an alien, and she's pretending to be some god, some ancient deity on a world, right? And because they had some sort of like contract set up with this god, if the god would do X and Y and save their society from ruining itself, they would, after 1,000 years, the god could claim everything. And, force fields, right? Holograms, teleportation, tractor beams could cause the earthquakes, so you can control the weather, I can move from place to place instantaneously, I'm immune to harm, I can shape change. These are pretty godly feats. They're pretty magical feats. Sufficiently advanced technology. And so the flip side, of course, is that any sufficiently advanced magic, which, if magic is more than just, whoever has the strongest will can shape a bunch of ambient energy to do whatever they want, if there's actual rules and mechanics to it, then it's just a different science. Final count, 42! 42! 2? That's not bad for a humph. I myself am sitting pretty on 43. Hit a dead goblin on ground. 43! He was already dead. He was twitching. He was twitching because he has me axe and Ben his brain. Well done, adventurers. Every time my blood warms, I get stronger. Yay! Oh, got the barbarian class. Yes. Now we're raking in the classes. Now I have been told that this is a game where after a certain point you do want to look into plus 25% damage. See, that's nice. His skill plus 1 duration. Okay. Alright, well, oh, hello. Goblins now. Slay goblins. Goblin chiefs. Interesting. You know what? I'm going to collect the goblin's nails. Dexter! Hey, could you gather some goblin nails for me? I need to tell you that these drop from goblins, right? But, what are you doing here anyway? I was going to pick up some nails, but then you disappeared. 2 goblin nails. Okay. Let's fight 3 at a time. Yeah, if magic has a sufficiently advanced system to it, right, where it operates like a technology, just its own branch that basically overrides normal physics and the like, then yeah, you'll get a lot of the same stuff that happens where anyone can use magic without understanding, because really smart wizards have figured out a way to give it to the masses. Those filthy, stinking masses. I just want to throw fireballs at people. We know that's all they want to do. But generally, in a lot of these settings, that's not the case. Where magic is that plentiful. In which case, it is really always a case where, yeah, anyone can pick up a knife and stab someone to death, but not anyone can become a wizard and channel a lightning bolt to strike them down. Which really takes, you can't, it's not a heat of the moment thing, right? You can't just, you have to have worked to master these skills. And then, of course, yeah, then you have your Iron Mans, where again, it's going to be one of those, well, basically, in your comic book settings. Yeah, advanced technology is magic. Same with, there we are. These are already sold, they're nice to you. Oh, you know what? I've got a lot of cash. Time to go shopping. Malls, pets. I believe I want Mana Steel. Hey, Dexter. And the Monster Book. I got a rug already. I've got the red carpet. Oh, furniture. Furniture sounds good. 10%. Plus 8% purchased gold. I don't plan to buy gold. Magic resist. Guess I'll take the blacksmith, probably. What are my other options? More magic. More health. Plus 4% extra magic. Cheaper travel costs. Dr. Scientist. table. Ah. +1 to dice rolls. Ooh. That would make the stun hit from my rogue 3 turns. Objects. Alright, well, I guess that'll do for now. Want to kill more goblins? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I like goblins. So I put goblins in your quest. It'll be fun, I said. Alright. Actually. If I'm gonna fight things, I'm not a fan of that. I'm gonna slay pig bears. Oh, they weren't. They weren't. Alright, fight goblin chiefs instead. How many goblin chiefs? Kill 7 goblin chiefs. Alright, I'm gonna busy myself killing goblin chiefs. 2 at a time, I think. It's because there's a lot of them. Oh wait, are they elite? Can I... Oh, they are. Damn it! Damn it, I didn't think that through very much. Oh, well, yeah, comic books play very loose with how, your sciences work. I mean, take... well, you know. That's a good example. Well, of course, you know, there's Iron Man. That's not how it usually works in terms of how technology progresses. It's usually just one guy going from, yeah, we'll figure out a little bit how to do a little bit better, you know, metallurgy to, I'll just make power armor, and I will build better satellites, and I'm going to be an omnidisciplinarian scientist in 18 different fields. Because sure, that's just how we do things. But, what's an example of what I was trying to talk about? Oh, yeah, Superman's a good example, right? So, you know, he gets power from the sun, right? Yeah, so sure, he collects solar energy, and then he can use that energy to fly and carry on, you know, to make himself stronger, blah, 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 blah. Sure. But here's kind of where it breaks physics. There's no amount of energy you could ever get from the sun that can let you travel faster than light. And in a lot of comics, he does. Yeah, there is really no excuse for it. You can't. Ever. It would take, yeah, all the energy of the sun. Like, every drop. If you converted the entire mass of it to energy, would still not be enough to propel him to those kinds of speeds. And then, you know, you don't even try to think about how does he breathe in space. In some cases he can. Oh, Superman. You know what his greatest power is? His greatest power is multiple writers. And each writer just decided to give him one new trick and just spiraled madly out of control. Madly. Till we got where we are today, and he can do it. Yes. Boggles the brain. Boggles the brain. It's too bad, because I quite like the idea of Superman. I like him as a character. Well, I don't mind admitting it. I know some people don't like him, but I do. Anyhow, enough rambling from me. I'm gonna finish killing these goblins. It's just, this looks like a pretty basic quest of just kill, so I'll just probably finish it off screen. Thank you all for watching. What do you think? Do you like Superman? Think he's a boring character? What do you like in your characters? Do you like technology? Do you like to play one it's more about the gear, or is it about your personal prowess? I'm curious to know, cause yeah, I'm never the tech heads. Not usually, but I do love my wizards. Anyway. Thanks for listening to me ramble and murder many goblins. See? Going back to other games where it's totally okay to just murder goblins. Why bother talking? See everyone later.